And welcome to the Backrooms Level 42. Survival Difficulty Class 5E, Environmental. Unsafe, Unsecure, Non-entity hazards. Level 42 is the 43rd level of the Backrooms. It is a large, non-Euclidean stretch of land dominated by dense forests, thick vegetation, and one singular volcano in the center. Description: most of the level consists of nothing more than a gigantic forest with trees covering every bit of the land until the very end of the Horizon 1, which prevents almost any light from reaching the ground. However, even with the absence of sunlight, which is vital for plants to survive, these plants are able to grow and perform many functions with no apparent diminished effects. The dense forest, rich in thick vegetation and strong coverage of the ground, together with the highly polluted and dense atmosphere, prevents any light from reaching the majority of the surface too. Surveying the level has proven to be a challenge for most exploration teams, mostly due to the fact that most of the level is an environmental hazard to any wanderer or entity alike. Most effects and dangers will be listed further into the article. However, if necessary, all available and detailed effects, including all available chemical records and other reports based on advanced machinery that exploration teams have brought periodically into the Level 3. Traversing the level on foot is the only viable option for those who are looking to explore the level, as the terrain is rough and uneven at all times, even in the seemingly open, flat areas underneath giant domes of leaves, formed by enormous trees. Furthermore, it is incredibly hard to see without any form of artificial lighting, such as a flashlight. Bringing any fire-inducing sources of light is not recommended due to the polluted and highly reactive atmosphere, which reacts to any modest amount of fire. If by any means a fire is started, the area surrounding the source of the flame will be engulfed in a ball of burning air particles, which will explode and severely damage anything standing less than 5-10 meters away from the initial source. The explosion is always rapid and too quick for any flames to escape and burn down any trees. However, if somehow a flame reaches a tree and it begins to burn, the occasional heavy acid rain will always extinguish these small fires. The acid will not react with the trees, however, and will be absorbed by the ground, which is highly toxic. These acid rains occur frequently and last long periods of time. Time itself is non-linear in Level 42, and all clocks brought into the level will cease functioning. The acid is highly corrosive and will damage any wanderer or entity it makes contact with. Most trees will not offer sturdy protection against these acid rains, even if the coverage is total. Small caves and areas underneath a solid layer of protection, such as the area underneath a cliff, are the most recommended places to wade through the acid rain. At ground level, temperatures are relatively low, with numbers around 0 superscript OC to 8 superscript OC. Wanderers are prone to suffering from hyperthermia if not adequately protected by dry layers of clothing. At the atmosphere level, however, temperatures can get dangerously high. This is due to the numerous chemical reactions happening in the atmosphere at any given time, which by itself is enough to warm up most of the air above the forest. Together with these chemical reactions, the volcano present in the middle of the level, which is active at all times, also contributes to these warm temperatures at the atmosphere level, with numbers around 56 superscript OC to 67 superscript OC. The volcano, The volcano of level 42 is a stratovolcano, known for its steep profile and complex layers of hardened lava. It is highly active, with intervals of explosive eruptions and effusive eruptions, of which explosive eruptions tend to be more common. Seismic activity is high in the volcano's vicinity, as the magma chambers underneath are constantly refilled and keep the volcano active for extended periods of time, sometimes for years. 4. Due to the endless activity of the volcano throughout the level, the atmosphere is constantly filled with toxic gases and ashes, which can be highly hazardous if a wanderer is exposed to them for a prolonged period of time without any protection, such as a mask. Other dangers include anomalous volcanic bombs, which are spit out from the crater of the volcano. These are giant rocks that are ejected at high velocities when the volcano is most active and may fall at any location within 34 kilometers of the volcano. 5. Such rocks can fall out of the sky, seemingly out of nowhere, and are capable of damaging the environment and destroying anything in their way, creating a large impact crater, which becomes a deadly sight as the toxic ground underneath releases many nocive chemicals into the area. Its anomalous characteristics are believed to come from the rock's abnormal sizes, far bigger than any typical volcanic bomb seen in the front rooms. With such, volcanic bombs pose a severe threat to wanderers and are hard to avoid, as they can appear out of nowhere with no warning. The area surrounding the volcano consists of nothing more than ash and igneous rock-covered fields, filled with rivers of lava, which stretch on for long distances into the forest. Here, life is almost non-existent, aside from a few small mammals who reside in the caves created by the solidified lava, and who are able to withstand high temperatures. Due to the environmental hazards present in the volcano's vicinity, not many animals want to reside near it. It is recommended that wanderers avoid traversing near the volcano and instead stick to safer routes inside the forest and to be safe from any other environmental hazards. Other relevant effects: anomalous lava pools. Sometimes, wanderers may come across a strange array of lava pools formed next to the volcano, typically in rows of 2 to 4. These, when inspected closely, will show visions of what appears to be an open field, which appears to be level 106. These pools may be used as a portal between 2 different levels. However, it is unknown what causes these lava pools to act this way. Beware that not all pools are anomalous. The only way to tell if a pool is anomalous or not is by closely inspecting it, which can be dangerous given that one has to enter deep into the volcano's vicinity, where they will be exposed to not only higher dosages of lethal gas and ash particles, but also they will be prone to being victims of falling lava or debris. Acid rain. Periodically, it rains in level 42, but this rain comes in the form of strong acid rain, which is able to pierce through leaves, but not the wood of the trees, and reach the soil, thus making it unsafe and toxic, if not also radioactive. 7. The acid rain is thought to be a consequence of the constant activity of the volcano in the level and is also another severe threat to wanderers, as it is highly corrosive and can severely damage skin and tissue. Furthermore, it is known that the acid does not react with the trees in any way, shape or form. No matter the climate or the properties, the acid will usually get stuck to the tree itself and drop down to the ground. However, Sometimes, these acid particles may get stuck between the rugged surface of the tree bark, which will cause them to eventually react with the air. These acid particles react extremely slowly with the air, and since most are absorbed by the soil, this effect is rarely ever seen. But when acid particles get stuck on the trees and react with the air, they will form a white, semi-liquid substance, which will foam after some time and emit deadly gases which kill the trees and any living organisms nearby. Areas where this reaction has severely affected the ecosystem have been named dead zones, and most will be promptly marked by signs placed by the research teams. But even then, wanderers are prone to stumble upon one, either through mistake or negligence. Dead zones are easily noticed, given the decaying state of the area, the almost totally black look of the surfaces of the trees, and the seemingly burned grass. The trees. All trees present in level 42 are anomalous and contain properties that allow them to survive under extreme weather conditions and become immune to acid. These trees do not need any water or sun to survive and instead rely on the chemical reactions which happen inside the contaminated soil, where acid reacts with the soil, slowly, to create a unique substance on which the trees feed. Said substance does not yet have a formal name, but is usually referred to as anomalous sap, due to its close resemblance to that of a tree's sap. Chemical reactions do come with a twist, however. Since any modestly sized flame will immediately react with the atmosphere, so do these chemical reactions react with the atmosphere if the soil is exposed during its process. If such happens, the atmosphere will react abruptly and violently, creating a large fireball which will set anything it touches on fire before burning out into the atmosphere. These fires feed on the chemical reaction with the air, thus lasting far longer than a normal flame's reaction with the air. As there's more fuel due to the abundance of acid in the soil and also due to the reaction's instability, causing it to release highly reactive material which constantly burns down when in contact with the atmosphere. Furthermore, these fires cannot be put out by the acid rain and will continue burning for long periods of time before their fuel runs out. Fortunately, they do not expand, as the trees do not react to the fire, only the reactive material that sticks to them. Entities. So far, and ever since the discovery of level 42, no entity has been spotted within its vicinity. It is thought that any entity who could have lived here would have died quickly from the severely dangerous and toxic environment, which poses a severe health hazard to both wanderers and entities. Wanderers are only able to survive in the level for as long as they are thoroughly protected. Smaller animals have been, however, seen roaming around level 42 freely, mostly in the form of small birds and insects that appear to be able to survive and maintain a fragile, but working, ecosystem. Wanderers are encouraged not to engage with these animals in order to preserve the local fauna. Bases, outposts, and communities. And for example Base 42. Field lab created by for example research teams. Home to 12 stationary operatives, with around 25 more non-stationary operatives. Will route wanderers back to safety if possible. Entrances and exits. Entrances. Level 42 can be accessed by clipping in level 41. Additionally, wanderers may also end up in level 42 by traversing far beyond level 10's boundaries. Exits. Only one viable exit has been found so far. It is, however, highly risky and dangerous, with some cases resulting in the death of the wanderer. Level 42 can only be exited by jumping into the aforementioned anomalous lava pools. Wanderers have to be mindful of any nearby lava rivers, falling debris, and other hazards present near the volcano. Once entered, after a brief moment of extreme pain and a burning sensation, wanderers will end up in either level 93 or text. The horizon. For many years, wanderers have discovered that the Backrooms houses some of the strangest reality-breaking events the human mind could ever withstand. The horizon, or horizon, is no different from these other events. Exclusive to level 42, it is responsible for the level's status as non-Euclidean. After walking a certain distance away from where a wanderer initially lands, everything around them will seemingly rewind back to the start, as if they got teleported back to the place they started in. This happens when a wanderer hits the boundaries of level 42, thus coming in contact with the anomaly, horizon, and being sent back to the starting point. Not long after being teleported back, wanderers will merely appear as if they have entered a crazed state and will act irrationally, essentially exposing their true feelings, much like the effects of being drunk. However, the wanderer suffering from this effect will see reality as it truly is, except that anyone standing next to the wanderer will simply vanish for them, leaving them to chase down people far away, only to eventually reach them and watch them disappear too. After a few hours, the effect will slowly vanish, and the wanderer will slowly regain their sense before collapsing for a few hours. It is still unknown why such things happen, but it is thought that the boundaries of the level are limited and protected due to a corruption of the realm far beyond its perimeter, which can sometimes be noticed by staring into the horizon with your naked eyes, where certain figures appear to move in the background when they aren't truly there, thus the name horizon. Beyond the horizon is a place no human can comprehend, where reality simply does not meet any laws of physics or thermodynamics. It is a really fascinating place, filled with reality-breaking events never before witnessed, a true wonderland and example of how immense and eventful the Backrooms are. I only wish I could explore some more beyond. Maybe one day we will all comprehend the true meaning of this place, and maybe one day we will all get out of here. I hope. The secret is most likely lying right beneath our eyes. And maybe one realm is simply the gateway back. That is all for level 41. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.